Welcome back to another video. My name is Hannah and I'm documenting my trading journey. I wanted to make this video because I get a lot of people asking me if I still use signal services, what is my view on signal services, and I'm gonna basically break this down into my experience with them, why I don't recommend them, and then at the end we're gonna go jump on the charts and hopefully I can use what I've learned now, sort of challenge these signals that I sort of went out and found on social media. So yeah, let's get into it. Hope you enjoy. So just some quick context of my experience. I basically found this signal provider's details on social media. It was just something that popped up, but a lot of the times I would just keep scrolling away because I didn't believe in that kind of thing. But it was really like hard to ignore, especially when you have no clue where to start off and these things keep literally bombarding you. Like social media is just flooded with all these people like making promises of, you know, you'll make this amount of money, all you got to do is pay me and let me do all the work, you know, you can earn while you learn. There's a lot of these taglines, and being very naive, very brand new to the markets, being an absolute idiot, I was just like,
okay, like sure, I'll give it a go.
I don't know other signal providers out there, you know, some might be like doing signals in a course put together, but this one, it was literally just like buy or sell this pair. So you're not taught about risk management, you're not taught about trading psychology, there's nothing you're really taught. It's just one big shortcut. But that's such a get rich quick mindset, and it will literally be so self-sabotaging in the future. I was with these people, with this company, for about like 2-3 weeks, not very long actually, because I quickly realized that this isn't really for me. Like, I don't feel like I'm learning anything. It's really like erratic, and I was just thinking like this isn't gonna work. And I started to like finally have a brain, and I was like, okay, let me question this. I started to be very like curious. Why did they get this buy? Why did they get this sell? So I questioned them, and I would just never get response. But they were very like active and stuff like that. So I was kind of think of the best of people, like, oh, maybe they're busy, or maybe they'll reply tomorrow. But then yeah, like just trying to say like, oh, we care for our clients, we care for our customers and stuff. I wasn't really like feeling that, so I was really confused. I mean, that's just me being naive. So there was one thing that really like sort of gave it away. Like it was like a Friday night, they posted on their story that they're going to like Dubai or whatever. Like 3 or 4 hours later, I think they like fucked up, and they posted how they're in their hotel, and I was like, it doesn't take 3 to 4 hours to fly to Dubai and be checked in or whatever. But then me being naive again, I was like, okay, maybe their post went out late or something. With my amazing stalker skills, I actually went into the hashtag. All of a sudden, I'm like scrolling, and I see the photo that this signal provider has like posted on their profile, and they're like, oh, celebrating a great week on the way to Dubai. But then this photo that I found, it was the exact same photo, and it was from another profile. And then that's when it clicked for me, like, okay, this is full of shit. And I pretty much stopped after that. So that's sort of my story of how I found my signal provider, social media, how it was sort of really up, down, I had no clue what I was doing, and then how I literally confirmed that this person is full of shit, even though I was kind of being very naive, being very stupid, and just hoping the best of this person. But I mean, to be fair, it was definitely a learning curve. It is like that stepping stone is sort of like helped me to get to where I am now, because without that I wouldn't have been like, okay, I need to go find proper education because I have no clue what I'm doing. But yeah. So some quick things that I just really want to drill into people who are looking to start getting into Forex and who might be really like tempted to use signal services is that there are no shortcuts. There are literally no shortcuts, okay? You need to understand that there are no shortcuts to being a successful, consistently profitable trader, whatever. It's a process. It's you know, you can't put a time limit to it. You can't rush it. Even if you had like a really good mentor, it's still up to you to put the work in. I've never heard of someone who's been like very wealthy, very successful without putting the work in. And there's a lot of taglines that crop up. I still see it, and it's all this earn while you learn. That isn't, you know, the only thing you'll be learning is how to mess up your trading. You know, you're gonna learn a lot of unconscious bad habits. The worst thing is that they're unconscious. You won't even realize all these thought patterns, all these belief patterns that you'll start ingraining into your mind, into your subconscious, while you're using these signal services, because you aren't taking responsibility. You're not making, your own decisions. You blame someone else instead of like looking at yourself. You're pointing the finger at someone else and being like, oh, it was them, that's why I lost all my money. I've learned that you've got to literally take responsibility for everything you do in the markets. The markets don't give a shit about you. They don't care if you trade with no stop loss. They don't care if you use indicators, whatever. So it's really down to you to put the work in, to take responsibility, and to actually become aware of what you're actually doing, and to be more mindful and responsible for your trading, for your account. But especially if you want to do this long term, especially if you want to get investor capital, especially if you want to do this full time, especially if you want to, break through with your financial situation. Those kind of things are so important to keep in mind, that going with signal services is really going to sort of set you off the wrong foot with trading. So yeah guys, kind of messed up there. I forgot to check if the mic was working. My bad. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Using signal services kind of just proved that you have a get rich quick mentality. To be fair, nothing wrong with that, especially if you are starting out, but just learn from it, okay? And another thing to keep in mind is that worst case scenario, your trades are playing out very, very well, and you start risking more thinking you can make double money. Those are the things that are really, really bad, because you're sort of in a gambler's mindset where you have no risk and you have no plan, you have no strategy. That's what I'm saying about the whole, it's gonna lead to really bad unconscious habits, especially in the long run. If you're trying to fix it, it does take a while to really rewire that and reprogram that. What is up guys? So I figured that we could actually jump on the charts and have a look at some of these entries and setups these signal services are actually providing. So I went ahead on Instagram and just typed in Forex signals, and some posts that came up and some accounts sharing their entries of saying, great week, everyone's profiting, blah, blah, blah. And here we've got Swiss yen. So let me just go on the chart and get up Swiss yen. It's a pair that I don't actually trade, but here they've got a buy. Okay, wait, this is on July 22nd. Hold up, let me go back to July 22nd. July 22nd. All right, cool. And they've got a buy. It's a long position on 109.73. Stop loss. Okay, well, the good thing about this provider or whatever is that they actually provided the stop loss with the signal services that I used before. They didn't. They just provided a signal to buy or sell, and they let us know when they closed it. So this is pretty new. Stop loss at 109.45. Okay, he's got a 20 pip stop loss. He or she, actually, sorry. Take profit at 109 point. That's like 20 pips. What? Okay. Right, well, I'm going to do my analysis on this and see where they might be getting their idea for a long setup. On the daily, we're sort of in this impulse correction stage, okay? And here we are, impulse correction. So, I'll be interested to see what is going on up here. So once I've drawn in the structure, this person is suggesting we take a buy in this region. I'm not exactly sure what time. It says the 22nd of July. So around this area, this person is looking for a buy. Straight off the bat, you can see we're in impulse correction. We have a descending channel here. And, already I'm really confused where that buy setup is coming from, really, if I'm honest. It's sort of already moving to the upside. I feel like the upside is limited. We have an impulsive move to the downside. We are in a corrective phase. We're looking for continuation to the downside. So really this buy signal is short-lived. If anything, it would only make it to the high of this trend line within this, you know, ultimately a bear flag pattern. But let's see if what happens here. And I'm already spotting what would have been a better entry to actually have taken. And yeah, you know, it reaches this person's first target, 110.23. Yep, doesn't really. Let's just keep going. Yeah, then reverses as anticipated, really, because here we've got impulse correction, just following market progression. Kind of trickles down, and yeah. But let's just go back, and I want to show you an entry that, you know, might have been more more like an entry that I would have taken. So we've got a double bottom here, right? The way we react is that we wick out of it and then we come back in, and we've got this descending channel, which is reversal sign that we could be springboarding to the upside. So, you know, just looking back in hindsight, that this would have been a better entry down here. After this retrace candle, we could have gotten a bit tighter, and at least, will it be at least 1% to the top of the correction? Yep, we can move it to break even. Is it at least a 3-to-1 trade? Yeah. So this is something that you might not have known because you were just following here, where you're really like in no man's land in the middle of this pattern. You're taking a buy setup with such a small reward that isn't really worth the risk, in my opinion. Of course, like, this is just based off the strategy that I've learned, which is market structure, price action, and patterns. So let's jump into another signal that this account has posted, which is pound kiwi short. Pound kiwi, now this is a sort of a cross pair that I don't trade just because of it's quite unreliable compared to other pairs like euro dollar. So this was 22nd again on that week, 22nd. Alright, sometime in the morning. Okay, I'm already seeing impulse correction, but I just want to quickly have a look at the higher time frames. Quickly bring in this. So anyhow, maybe that'll be perfect, but I just want to show some sort of structure. I want to draw some sort of story as to where this sell might have come from. Okay, got the ascending channel, 90% rule to fulfill the start of the correction. 1 hour time frame. Just judging off of pound kiwi, will this be a move to come directly to the downside? You know, this is a valid setup, right? Where, you know, maybe if it was euro dollar, we would get that move up and then to the downside. This is almost like the middle part of a flag, which is descending channel. But the fact that this pair is pound kiwi, it moves a lot more erratically, or a bit more crazy, if you want to say, compared to other more reliable pairs. But the thing is, you wouldn't know that because you're following signals. You don't know the different characteristics or how different price action and the nature of a pair is, because you're just following signals and you're not actually, you know, backtesting pairs or having a certain set strategy. I mean, even if just like looking left, you can see that it's never been that clean of a move to the downside, like the corrections in themselves. If we just look at that. So this whole piece of price action isn't as clean compared to like euro dollar or dollar CAD or pound dollar, those kind of pairs that are more reliable. So you know what, I'm not surprised if this doesn't give us a clean move like this compared to what euro dollar would do. I think this could even come down and then trickle up and form maybe an expanding. That is common with a lot of cross pairs and kiwi pairs that I've seen. But we'll see what happens. And so this person's got to sell at 1844 with a stop loss at 1854 and a take profit at 1842. Okay. Wow, that is just what it's like 0.2% risk to reward ratio with a 100 pip stop loss. I mean, technically, like you would want to be having your, you know, your first really area value to look down here, which is at 3%. But I mean, hey ho, this person has it here. Let's see what happens, I guess. Okay, we kind of impulsively move out of this okay, yep, move back up to the upside. I'm not surprised. We move back up a lot, but I'm not, you know, these things can reverse quickly. Oh, sick. Right. This is an interesting pattern. This is sort of why I don't have these kind of cross pairs in my plan and in my trading, really, because it's very unreliable. This area would probably get a lot of people caught out, especially those trading support and resistance, or those who are unaware of like the nature and different characteristics of a pair. Maybe people who are trading support and resistance will likely see that momentum to the downside and then they sell. Then they don't take a message from the market of this impulse. With that said, like, it just goes to show that with these signal services, signal providers, you're only given these entries, but you don't really exactly know what's going on. You aren't like taking responsibility for your own analysis, which is super key if you want to do this full time, long term, if you want to scale capital, if you want to grow capital, and if you want to keep capital, you've got to be in the mindset of a consistently profitable trader, and following signals isn't gonna achieve that. So I'm gonna try and actually find one with a euro dollar pair, just to, because these two pairs are like quite unreliable and I don't really have the, oh, found one. Okay. So next we've got here is a euro dollar sell. This person has posted this on July the 1st. I've already got some analysis on it because I'm on my main chart. July the 1st, okay. July, where are you? Okay. Ooh, okay, that's fine. Alright, well, let me just get rid of this. I've already got the structure drawn in from the higher time frames. Let me get rid of that. Alright, we've got a 1, 2, 1. Oh, let's just evolve that ever so slightly. Okay. Right, so I like the look of the sell already. Like, let's say I was backtesting, I would also be looking for a sell in this region. We've also got this, a little bit of this ascending channel. Let's jump on the 1 hour for execution. Where are my trend lines? Gone. Hold up. Hello. That's really annoying. Okay. Hold up, I'm gonna go find my trend lines. BRB. Yeah, so I just ended up redoing the whole thing, which is cool. By the way, the platform that I use for all this analysis stuff is in the description. So much of you guys ask me like what program I use to trade and do my analysis, and just go check that out in the description. So right, okay, I like this setup. Looks pretty, something that is in my plan. Got this ascending channel. Within that we got this smaller ascending channel just up here, and you know what, tendencies to this is that we get the arc to the upside to this double top, then we move down, but understanding that this could be impulse correction, impulse to the downside, first area of value looking here, or the 90% rule, as you all now know, is start of this correction. Cool. So let's just have a look at this signal provider's entries. This person's got a sell at 1.1352. Stop loss at 1.143. First target is 1.133. Okay. First and foremost, hold on, let me just move this closer. First and foremost, can we just look at this 78 pip stop loss with the first target like being only 0.24% reward? Like, I don't think that this kind of risk to reward ratio, this trade would not be worth taking with that kind of, like, I don't know. Like, again, you wouldn't know that if you were just plain old copying these signals. You wouldn't have your own sort of way of thinking about like making the decision of a trade, of a setup. So like, let's see what his third take profit is, because I'm curious. 1252. 1252. Oops. Put it in the wrong place. 1252. Okay. Alright, fair enough. Of course I would like kind of have it here, but even that is only 1.58%. So this person must be risking a lot if they're trying to make a lot of profit kind of thing. Otherwise, you know, it's just not that sustainable. It's not that scalable if you're not taking a setup at least 3 to 1. You know, trading is all about a game of probabilities, which is something I will probably go into more at a later stage. But anyways, I'm going to move this, to the side. And realistically, what I would at least do is take this either as a risk entry at the 1 to multi-touch here. You know, at least 30 pip is good enough. You know, if you want to be conservative, you can have it above these, above the ray line and above this upper trend line here. You know what, I'm going to refine this trend line. Not this trend line, this sort of correction. Yeah, 25, 28, 27, 26 pips stop is alright. Can we move it to break even at least? Yes, 1.15%. Is this at least a 3 to 1 trade? Yes, this is a 6% trade. And then this is our friend's entry this side. So let's have a look and see what happens. Okay. Okay. We got a little retest there as well. Yeah, EURUSD, I mean, just goes to show that, you know, it's a lot more reliable with the whole impulse correction market structure thing. You wouldn't have known that with signals. Hopefully, like, you can sort of see how the difference between just copying signals to actually having, like, some, you know, reasoning as to a better entry, why you're taking it. I don't know, man, like, I'm just thinking how before I would take these things and, like, literally have not a Scooby-Doo clue what was going on. Like, I would literally just take it and be like, oh, sick, you know. But this like having a strategy that's actually scalable, which you could actually backtest, see for yourself, is so powerful. And it's super key that we drill this into those who are even thinking about like getting into Forex or thinking about wanting to trade the markets, because you know, the Forex industry is full of these people who just want to like go grab your money. They use fear, they use greed to like try and lure you into using these signals about which you can see are pretty poor. I question a lot of things now that I'm sort of more aware about the whole the different things within Forex, and I think you got to be curious about like, why is this a good setup? Like, why should I take this? Why is this a buy? Why is this a sell? But I thought it'd just be a lot of fun to sort of compare what I know now. Please take that as a lesson that it's worth the investment. You owe it to yourself to actually invest in yourself, to go out, seek out proper guidance, proper mentorship, to find people who are actually genuine about, you know, their trading skills, their trading abilities, and more importantly, their intentions of wanting to, you know, trade and provide you with training. But anyways, guys, I hope you found this video quite interesting, quite insightful, and I hope you enjoyed the little chart thing. It's pretty crazy looking back. Like, it's been a year and a half since when I was using signals, and like I would just take them blindly, but now I can question them and challenge them, and you know, I can sort of do my own analysis. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.